Our next problem-solving assignment is going to be focusing on Venn diagrams, solving problems by using Venn diagrams to help you find the answer. But before we look at an example problem, you need to be aware that there are many different designs that could possibly occur with Venn diagrams. So let's go through a couple examples. You could have circles that overlap. It could be 2 circles, it could be 3 circles, it could be 4 circles. There's not a specified number of how many circles you could have that overlap. But you can also have Venn diagrams where the circles don't overlap. So maybe you have 2 circles that are separate. We can then combine those two ideas, and we could have Venn diagrams where maybe 2 circles overlap, and then there's one that sits by itself. And finally, we could have a Venn diagram where we have circles that overlap, but then maybe we have a circle that's inside another circle. Depending on the information from the problem, you'll be able to tell how the circles should be drawn. There's a couple other things that you need to be aware of. There are some keywords that you should look for in the clues. For example, if you see a clue that says the word only, that would tell you exactly the correct number that fits in a specified spot of a circle. You might also see the word both, and that will tell you that the number is going to share a spot. Sometimes you will need to write notes outside the circle to help you remember some key things. And finally, the last thing that I think you need to remember is that when you're given a problem to work on, often the clue that tells you something about all of the topics is the one that you want to start with. So keeping those things in mind, let's look at our example problem. We've got a problem here that's called Music Survey. And in this problem, it says, in a poll of 46 students, 23 liked rap music, 24 liked rock music, and 19 liked country music. Of all the students, 12 liked rap and country, 13 liked rap and rock, and 14 liked country and rock. Of those students, 9 liked all 3 types of music. How many students did not like any of these types? As always, it's very, very important to make sure you understand the question. So if we read the question again, how many students did not like any of those types of music? The word not here is probably a very important thing to remember. If we look back at the clues given, pretty much everything is important. So instead of highlighting here, I'm going to ask myself, okay, how many different types of music are there? And in my clues, are there clues that show me some overlapping? I see that 12 liked rap and country, so I know that my rap and my country circle need to overlap. I see that 13 liked rap and rock. That tells me that my rap and my rock circles need to overlap. And then I see that 14 liked country and rock. That tells me country and rock need to overlap. So as I begin to draw my Venn diagram, I know that all 3 types of music need to overlap each other. So we begin by drawing our circles, and we make sure that as we're drawing them, I leave enough space that I can fill in numbers. When I go back to label them, I make sure that I label them with the proper topics that I read from my problem. So that would be for rap music. This circle would identify country music. And finally, I've got rock music. And I mentioned up above that you can write some clues, and I'm going to share with you how that could work. If I know that 23 students like rap music, notice we don't see the word only. So 23 students are going to fit inside this entire circle. But notice that there are 4 different sections inside that circle. So I'm going to put a little note to myself that 23 students like rap. I also notice that 24 students like rock music. But again, I don't see the word only. So 24 students must fit inside this circle. And again, I've got 4 different sections in there. I don't know exactly how that number 24 is going to be broken down yet, so I just write myself a note. And finally, I see that 19 like country music. Again, I don't see the word only, so I know that this whole circle for country is going to be filled with 19 people, and it's got 4 different sections. I don't know how the number 19 is going to be broken up yet. So I write myself a little note. I also mentioned up above that sometimes the most important clue to start with is the one that gives you information about all of the topics. And if you look here, I see that 9 students liked all 3 types. And there's only one spot in my Venn diagram in which I can record that. This spot right here in the middle must have 9 students. Now we work backwards. So let's go backwards, and I see that 14 students liked country and rock. So if I look for the overlapping sections of country and rock, that would be this section right here. And that needs to total 14. And notice I already have 9. So what's remaining? Sure, 14 minus 9 is 5. Good job. I keep going backwards in my clue, and I see 13 like rap and rock. So I look for the rap and the rock section that overlap. That's this section here. And we notice from the clue that 13 students or people must fit in that section. I've already got 9, so that remains 4, because 4 plus 9 is 13. I continue to go backwards in my clues. 12 liked rap and country. Where is the section that overlaps for rap and country? That's right here. And that needs to total 12 according to my clue. I've already got 9, so let's work backwards. 12 minus 9 is 3. And now I can use those important clues that I filled in before. I know that rap needs to total 23. And if you look at that circle again, I see that I've already got 3 plus 9 plus 4, which gives me 16. How many more do I need to get to 23? You're right, that's 7. I know from my country clue, I need a total of 19 students in this circle. And I've already got a 3, a 9, and a 5, which totals 17. So how many more do I need to get to 19? That's right, 2 there. And finally, we've got our last circle. And we notice that rock needs to have 24 students. And we have in here 5 plus 9 plus 4 is 18. I need 6 more to get my total of 24. Our Venn diagram is filled in, and now we're finished, right? Oh, nope. You've got to remember what the question asks for. It says, how many students did not like any of these types? And if you recall at the very beginning of this problem, we know that there's a total of 46 students. So let's go through and add what we have here. We've got 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 5 more is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 4 is 20, plus 9 is 29, plus 7 is 36. And if I've got 36 showing, and there's a total of 46 students, we need to do a little math that you can probably do in your head. A total of 46 students, 36 showing in my Venn diagram. That means there are 10 students that are not in my Venn diagram. Therefore, 10 students do not like these types of music. Remember to summarize your answer in writing. And when you're finished, please put a box around your answer so that I can find it easily.